Hi, I'm Jennifer of Celtic Knot Crochet, and today I'm going to show you how to make this mini mandala that's part of the mini mandala necklace, which is a free pattern on CelticKnotCrochet.com. Now this is very tiny and it can be hard to see the stitches even on a close-up camera. So I'm going to show you how to do all this with larger yarn and a larger hook. So it also starts with an adjustable ring, which is very similar to the mandala driftwood decoration. So you wrap the yarn. I have a video just on doing the adjustable ring, so you can find that in the description. Pull the yarn through, then chain one to lock it. Okay, now you're going to chain two, and instead of double crochets, actually you're going to chain four, sorry. Instead of double crochets, you're going to half double crochet into the ring. And then chain two, half double crochet, chain two, and we'll do this until we have 10 half double crochets. And you work just right into that, right into this big loop here. Half double crochet, you yarn over, put your hook in, pull up a loop, then you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. Do that again. Chain 2, yarn over, hook in, yarn over, pull through the loop, yarn over, pull through 3. And these make much shorter, more compact stitches, which is what we want for this project since it's a mini mandala. Now once I've made 10 half double crochets, I have to do one more chain 2, and then I'm going to take this yarn tail and pull it, and that will close up that hole there in the middle of my project. Now it's easier when you're using thread, but the concept still works here for the thicker thread. And that's why you use an adjustable ring, so you don't have a hole in the middle. Here's my beginning chain 4, so now I'm going to find the second chain and put a slip stitch in that, and that closes up the circle, and that first chain 4, the bottom half of it, counts as a half double crochet. So now I have 10 spokes. Now I'm going to do single crochets in each of these chain 2 spaces. I'm going to work 3. So 1, 2, 3 in each space all the way around. And that really makes those spaces stand out. Now that I've gone all the way around with the 3 single crochets in each space, you can see how it really makes the spaces pop out. And then I'm just going to do a slip stitch in that first single crochet of the round to close up the circle. Now I'm going to do the what looks like cluster, but it's actually kind of a cluster puff stitch. So I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to yarn over, put my hook in the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then I'm going to do that again. Yarn over, hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Now I have 5 loops on my hook, and then I'm going to yarn over and pull through all of them. And it makes a nice loopy pointed petal. And then I'm going to chain 5, to give me space between this petal and the next one. And now I'm going to work the rest exactly like this one here. I'm going to work over 3 stitches, the next 3. Yarn over, put my hook in, yarn over, pull through the stitch, and I pull the loop up about a 1/2 inch. Yarn over, hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and now I have 2, 4, 6, 7 loops. Yarn over, pull through all 7, and I've created a nice pointed cluster stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll do that again over the next 3 stitches. Yarn over, hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Now I check, I have 2, 4, 6, 7 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through everything. And then my chain 5s, it's kind of open right now, but I'm going to do 1 chain, and that closes that up and gives it a nice point on top. And then I do 4 more chains to carry me over to do the next petal. And I'm going to continue like that all the way around, and then end by slip stitching in the top of that first cluster I made. So now I've gone all the way around with my cluster puff stitches. I have my last chain 5, and now I'm going to slip stitch right in the top of that first cluster to close up the circle and to complete the mandala. Now you might want to stop there. It all depends. We'll continue with this video and I'll show you how to add this to the necklace element and do the different steps of turning this into a necklace. But you might want to single crochet in each of these chain 5 spaces, and you might want to just leave it the way it is. So that's optional for you. It might also depend on how big of a bezel you found to put this inside. So if you're having a hard time fitting it in, you might want to just stop here so it doesn't get too big. And you'll see what I mean in a minute. But in case you wanted to finish it, you just work right into the gap here and do 4 or 5 single crochets. Usually the rule of thumb is you do as many single crochets at least as there are chains, and sometimes 1 or 2 more to fill it out really nicely. And then it definitely gives it a nice finish look, but you need to decide. So here is the actual size done with a size 7 1.5 millimeter hook and size 10 crochet thread. And then here you have what it would look like if you use larger thread, which I recommend for practice before you can do the small one. Now that you have completed your mini mandala, it should be about 1.5 inches across using the size 10 crochet thread. Remember, all those details you'll find in the pattern at celticknotcrochet.com. It ends up being 1.5 inches across, which is approximately 38 millimeters. And after you weave in your ends, and you could steam block it if you'd like, I picked up one of these blank slate metal pieces. It's a bezel, and a bezel is basically a metal display where you can add your own creation right in the middle. And it usually has a slight popped up edge to it, so whatever you put inside nestles in nicely and doesn't come off. So I just use some jewelry glue like this. You can use E6000, and I put a little bit on a scrap piece of paper and used a toothpick and dabbed it around, and then placed the mandala on top. And you see it just fits nicely right inside. And then I even took a very small, you can see it sparkling there, matching blue Swarovski gem. And I set those aside and let them dry overnight. And now this is not going anywhere. And then I picked up a cord necklace. Here's one right here. You can see it comes in a package and it already has a clasp on it. So I'm going to use the silver one. Two came in the pack. But I'm going to open up this. You can see how I opened it up by pulling it I pulled it not apart this way, but I pulled it apart this way using the pliers so that I could get the end of the cord smaller, because with the jump rings that I just showed you, with that on there, I can't fit it through the top of the bezel. So I just took that off temporarily, and I can thread now the cord through the bezel, and then I can put that end back on, just reversing how I took it off. So I put the loop right through there, attach the extender. If you want it, you don't even have to have that on there if it's already long enough for you. Use some jewelry pliers and close it back up by pressing it back in the opposite direction. And there you have the mini mandala necklace. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out my other free patterns on CelticKnotCrochet.com. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you can see more free tutorials.